What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to get right into this 2022 Cadillac XT5. And the model that we're looking at today is the Sport all-wheel drive with the Platinum package. It's finished off in crystal white tri-coat and has an MSRP at $70,300. Underneath the hood of this XT5 Sport, you're going to find a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated 6-cylinder engine. This V6 pumps out 310 horsepower with 271 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission. All of the power is sent to a twin-clutch Sport Control all-wheel drive system, and with a curb weight around 4,300 pounds and running on a 22-gallon fuel tank, you can expect 18 miles per gallon in the city with 26 out on the highway. The overall length is 189.6 inches with wheelbase at 112.5. Width is 74.9 and height is 66.1 inches. And the minimum ground clearance is 7.8 inches, and this car also features an adaptive suspension. This Sport model also features a massive set of 6-piston Brembo brake calipers up front, painted in a red color, and the rear calipers are also painted in the same color. And then now moving to the exterior styling with this 2022 XT5 Sport. It's a really sharp crossover from Cadillac. I especially love the pearl white. We get a massive set of LED headlights spanning all the way up towards the front fenders. You can see the brushed aluminum trim with massive DRLs, projector beam right in the center, and then it fades down to the LED fog light down below. You can also see gloss black trim on the farthest sides, all of your parking sensors within the front bumper. Then you get a massive gloss black grille with your Cadillac logo right in the center, and then more of that brushed aluminum trim all around the surround. Down below we get more gloss black trim and more openings for the engine, as well as a safety sensor. You can also see a gloss black front splitter protruding forwards in the lowermost part of the front bumper, and I really love all of the sharp lines and how everything comes together. Up on the hood there's really sharp lines all coming together very nicely to make this front end stand out. It looks like a Cadillac for sure, but it really does look like a nice modern vehicle. And then moving towards the side profile, this has a set of 20-inch wheels in all four corners, finished in a really cool multi-spoke design with a two-tone color. And I love just how large these brake calipers are. They are way bigger than they look. So cool to see with Cadillac written on them. Then you can see the body colored fender flares running around the front wheel. And then this plastic black trim in the lower portion of these doors with some more of that brushed aluminum trim down below. There's a Cadillac logo on the back side of the front fender, and then we get a set of body colored mirror caps. They have an integrated LED turn signal as well as a camera down below, and then all gloss black trim for the window surrounds, really blending all of the glass. We get body colored door handles, and then more gloss black trim for the roof rails, as well as a panoramic roof up top. And then taking a look at the entire side profile, this is a really proportional looking vehicle. It is on the smaller side of course, but I really like just how sharp and edgy everything is. And then as we move our way to the rear end, you can see just how much the rear glass is sloping with the gloss black trim around it, an integrated spoiler up top, and the shark fin antenna. You can also see sharp lines in the side profile that fade their way all the way towards these taillights, and then the taillights have clear lenses with blacked out housings. You get a Cadillac logo inside of them, just a little bit of red. Really nice and modern design. The 400 badge is over on the far right side, and then we get more of that brushed aluminum trim in the center portion of this liftgate with the Cadillac logo and camera, and then the far left side you're going to get the XT5 logo as well as the all-wheel drive badge. And then down below there's more of that plastic black trim for the lower portion of the rear bumper. You get gloss black for the rear diffuser, all of your parking sensors, more trim, and the reverse light, and then a dual exhaust with brushed aluminum tips. So there's a good look at the exterior with the XT5 Sport. This is a really sharp looking SUV, and I gotta say I cannot believe how big those front brake calipers are. They are absolutely massive. So we have Cadillac's key fob now, really nice looking, kind of looks like the own logo. And if you tap the lock button, we can hold down the engine start stop button. We do get remote start. The V6 will roar to life, which is a really cool touch. And then just tapping the button once, it'll shut off. And then keeping the key fob in my pocket, I can just grab the door handle, press the little button, it'll unlock, and we can check out this interior. This particular spec gets the semi-aniline leather interior finished off in black, and you're also going to see carbon fiber as well as aluminum accents all throughout. If we take a look at the door panel now, you can see all the smooth leather with contrast stitching, and then I love this carbon fiber design. very sporty looking. Nice ergonomic shape for the release handle, as well as your lock and unlock, and then part of the Bose audio. We get all the window and mirror controls down below with a grab handle, and then more of the smooth leather and stitching. Down below in the storage area, we get your power liftgate settings. You can adjust that for how high you'd like it. And then we get your illuminated badge for the Cadillac name right on this door sill, and then all of your power controls on the left side of the seat. More of this genuine smooth leather. Very nice design, and I love how the stitching even kind of looks like the Cadillac logo. You can see it coming up these backrests. Really clean and classy looking. I love the little trim piece. You get stitching on the headrest, full panoramic roof, and then a black steering wheel with more of the carbon fiber trim. And then now inside the Cadillac, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have the analog tach over on the left with your fuel, and then your speedometer and engine temperature to the right. We also get an LCD screen right in the center to tell you all sorts of vitals and other information within the car, and you can control that using the pad on the right side of the steering wheel. So taking a look right now on this main screen, I can scroll down and see a lot of the trip information, your range, a few more things of information all within the car. Then you can scroll left and right. You have radio icons that'll come up, navigation and phone integration. Then you have your night vision system that'll come up when it's dark out, and then all sorts of different settings that you can adjust. You can go into that and change everything, and then of course back out and go back to your digital speed readout. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, we get the Cadillac logo and some stitching along it. Then all the cruise control settings on the left with voice commands. And then down below, some of the safety settings like lane keeping. You even get the forward pacing, and then your heated steering wheel control. We get some track buttons on the right side, then some volume controls on the right. We even get some steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, and they're actually really large. They're metal, they feel pretty sweet as well. Then you can see the stalk on the left side for all the headlight controls, and then we get all the windshield wipers on the right. To the left of the steering wheel, we have more controls for park and brake, as well as interior lighting, heads-up display, and then a power button for your automatic telescoping steering wheel. We get more of this really cool carbon fiber trim, the leather and Alcantara, and smooth leather running across the entire dashboard. Very premium car in here with all of the extra options. I love the leather and Alcantara. The carbon fiber look certainly adds that sporty touch. It really does make this car feel really special. And then taking a look at the infotainment screen right in the center, we have some touch sensitive buttons on the left for the start stop feature. You also have parking sensors. And then in the center, your main screen now, you can adjust all sorts of different things. You can go into the camera and see your top down view on the left. You can toggle this from front and rear. You also have top down, front and rear. Then you can take a look at all of your wheels, guidelines you can turn on and off. Then you can even just get rid of the top down. And then just backing out of that, we have a few more items that'll come up. You have climate control for the front. You can also adjust the rear passengers as well, and then easily shut all that off. We have a home button over here. You can scroll over, see Spotify and things like that. We do get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And then down below that, this gloss black trim piece, we have a mute button on the left side, then a home button over on the right side. Very cool how it's all touch sensitive buttons. And then below that, there's all of your climate controls. We have a toggle in the center for your fan speed that'll come up on the screen as well when you make that adjustment. Then we have your dual zone temperature with these more nice toggles. And I like how it has that V shape, kind of like the Cadillac logo. We have your heated and ventilated seats on the left side. Very easily tap those buttons. And then more controls all throughout the center, and they're all more of the touch sensitive buttons. And then down below that, we have this cool leather design, as well as some nice storage in the center. And then we get the shifter right here. You can see the different drive modes. We have a control panel in the center for shortcuts and everything for the radio system. You can tap these shortcuts, go to your navigation, audio. You have a back button as well. Then you have track buttons and volume on off. And then on this right side, you can push this forwards and it reveals two cup holders. You can see how they're all laid out. Very nice and integrated. Traction control icon as well as your drive mode. And in the drive mode, you can see how it says two-wheel drive on the top left. That is front-wheel drive, so this is a bias system towards the front. You can go into the all-wheel drive mode right here, and you can see how that flashes. Then we have the sport mode, and then even an off-road mode. And then behind that, we have our wireless phone charging. Really cool place to way they integrate it. You just slide your phone all the way down there. Then we have black leather and stitching. And then our center console, you have two USB ports and a pretty good amount of storage space down here with a removable area. And then taking a look at the glove box now, really large opening as you would expect. And then one last look at the interior. This is a really nice place to be. I love the leather material. Everything you touch and feel certainly looks nice. Carbon fiber definitely is a cool touch for it. Really does look like a nice car. And then up top you can see the Alcantara headliner with the full sunshade for the power sunroof. Really nice materials up here. You can see the dome lights and all the controls, and then our frameless mirror. And then moving to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, the rear door panel is finished off just like we saw up front with the Alcantara leather and carbon fiber. And then we have a 3-person capacity bench row back here. You get all the same leather and stitching, and then in the center you can pull this spot down and it gives you a nice armrest with 2 more cup holders. So then sitting in the back of the XT5, for more of a small size crossover, this is actually really roomy. I'm 5'11". My head is almost touching the ceiling, but not quite. So I do have plenty of room here. Armrest is in a great place. And I like how this extra window back here kind of gives you a little bit better visibility. And of course, if you have the sunroof opened up, that really makes it nice and light in here. These seats do recline. You have a handle over on this left side, so you can pull them all the way up, which is a decent position, but then all the way reclined. It is a really nice, comfortable place to be. And I love how you get the amenities like the climate control settings. You can see the whole toggles and everything. You can easily change your different zone for the rear. Heated seats back here as well, and then the fan speed. And then moving to the rear storage area, you can double tap the button on the key fob, use the one on the liftgate, or of course that one on the interior. This is gonna automatically open up. We get a full privacy cover in here as well that you can easily slide out of the way. Then you can see these aluminum rails on the left and right side to attach different tie downs. Then this area you can pull up. You can see a lot of hidden storage space underneath the floor. And then if you just grab the back side of these seats, we can manually fold these down and get the seats out of the way and really open up the cargo area. And with the privacy cover out of the way, you can see just how much more storage space the XT5 is gonna have. Then you can even see these pieces that'll slide back. We do get handles on the back that you can pull to manually lower the seats as well. And then coming through the side doors, you can see how they fold nice and flat. They really get out of the way. And you still get plenty of space up in front of these seats. All right, so setting off now in this Cadillac. So getting my bearings with it, slowly getting up to speed. We're just in the normal touring mode, which is gonna be a front wheel drive mode. So up to 52. So overall first impression is it's really quiet and comfortable. I mean, obviously it's a Cadillac for 70 grand. It better be pretty comfortable and quiet. Definitely very smooth, especially on this nice road. Really good visibility. You have a huge windshield. I of course love seeing the leather, but really good view over the left and the right. The mirrors all do a great job letting me know what's going on behind me. And looking over your right and left shoulder, no real blind spots on the left side. The C-pillar back there is a little large, but not really too bad. I think the seating position is pretty good as well. You're nice and high up, however, you have all sorts of adjustments with the seat and steering wheel to really get comfortable. And the armrests are in a great place. You know, they're not too wide. Seems pretty comfortable just to be like a normal daily driver. You know, this is obviously gonna be someone's daily, just normal driving and everything like that. So if I hit the brakes, these brakes are super impressive. So let's get up to 55 miles an hour and slam it on the brakes. Wow. That was down in half like nothing. I am so surprised. Those brakes are so big for a car like this. They seem a little overkill, but I mean, honestly, you can't ever complain about having too good of brakes. Those are impressive. And the seatbelt tightens up when you really slam on the brakes. So that's pretty impressive as far as a safety standpoint. And then if we go into the all-wheel drive mode, obviously now it flashes all-wheel drive, and it's going to basically do its intelligent system to manage the power best, depending on circumstances that you're driving on. So normal driving, you know, definitely a comfortable, normal vehicle to use. The fit and finish is pretty nice as well, especially with this being fully loaded with all the extra leather, the carbon and everything. It's a nice place to be. It really is refined, and I think it gives you a nice place to be in. And so then let's go to the sport mode. We'll pull this back for manual. We'll feel out the paddle shifters. They do look really nice. You can even see the bottoms of them. So we have the V6. Let's just test out some acceleration. So the paddles, I wouldn't say are the best. I don't think anybody's actually ever going to use them in this car. The gear ratios kind of seem like a CVT, quite honestly. So kind of interesting the way it is, kind of depending on how you floor it, but I would just leave it in automatic mode. And if we go to tour mode, we'll put us back into normal drive. There is some torque steer when you're in the front wheel drive mode. Steering wheel gets pretty light up in the higher RPM. But then if you go to the all-wheel drive mode, of course we now have the rear-wheel drive helping out. And you don't really feel that anymore. So I like the different drive modes. I think that really does make the car kind of be able to adapt to different circumstances. But yeah, normal driving, acceleration is decent. I wouldn't say it's the fastest car. Obviously, there's no turbo or anything under the hood, but it actually does get up to speed plenty good. I don't think you're gonna have an issue getting onto the highway and things like that. And then of course we do have the off-road mode. If I go into off-road, it's nice that it'll manage the power and everything for all four wheels. And with the adaptive suspension, it's gonna really do what it needs to do to give you a comfortable drive. As we just go down a little bit of a dirt path, honestly, it's really smooth in here. A pretty confident car to be in. And I just like the visibility. It's so easy to see around. So if you are gonna take this down a trail, maybe go to, I don't know, like a camping trip or something like that, you have that. All right, so then now flipping around to the normal perspective. So yeah, normal driving, definitely a nice little SUV to pilot. And it's cool to have all these drive modes. You can really feel how it's a solid car. Cadillac being more of a top tier trim level or top tier brand, they make pretty nice products, and even their smaller SUVs, they gotta be nice. Not everything's gonna be an Escalade. However, even their smallest vehicles, they are making it to where they're pretty nice to drive. So back into sport, and we'll put it in manual mode. So yeah, my only downfall is full throttling with these paddles. It just doesn't really feel like it's shifting much. So a little weird to get used to, but even if you just left it in automatic mode, sport mode makes this car a little bit more aggressive to drive and a pretty good throttle response and everything. So we'll just go back into normal all-wheel drive. But yeah, like I said, getting comfortable in the car, good comfortable seats, nice padding and everything. The leather feels good on the hands. And I like all the options you get. You get all the safety settings, the luxury features and things like that. But yeah, really nothing too much to complain about. I think there's also a pretty good use of storage in here. Having this compartment right here is a nice little spot. And then I especially like the wireless phone charging. The way it's designed like that, it really makes it to where your phone can be completely out of the way. When cars do it to where your phone has to sit flat, that takes up a lot of storage. This is out of the way to where you're just never gonna really think about it. And I just like that aspect. And then the under the console storage, you have so much room back here for pretty much anything that you need. And the last thing to leave you guys on is the brakes. I can't believe this has that big of brakes. Wow, those are performance car brakes on this. I don't know why it has that, but I'm not complaining. I think that's pretty cool. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.